Hello, welcome to the Gary Dunn Show for October 11th, 2022. I'm your host, Gary Smith, and as always, on a Tuesday morning, we have Coach Dunn. And Coach, another beautiful fall morning in Western PA. Leaves are finally starting to turn.
Absolutely. Great to be back for another week.
And another week it is. We're in the middle of conference play, and we'll start this past weekend. The Coal Bowl number 13, and we're going to kind of work a little bit backwards because there was a lot to unpack in this football game, but we're going to start with the end. If you're a Cal fan, kind of ended on a really bizarre call at the end. So what was the official explanation to you on the sideline? Because it really wasn't clear in the press box, and it really wasn't clear in the stands what exactly happened.
Unfortunately, on the last play of the game, you don't get an explanation. Okay. The officials on the last play of the game go straight to the locker room. So no explanation. By film and dissecting it is, they said our guy had lined up in the neutral zone, and the official was telling him to back up. So he backed up, and they threw a flag. It's a shame that the game wasn't decided on the field between the participants, but both teams. But a great college football game, and unfortunately, it had to end like that.
And working backwards, that last drive was shaping up to be something epic. Just catch everybody up in case you weren't there and didn't see the highlights. Shame on you, but IUP took a lead with like a minute and a half left, and then your offense just came roaring down. That was a beautiful. I don't even know if you call it a 2-minute drill. It was more like a 90-second drill because you marched about 67 yards in about 4 plays.
Yeah, I think our guys did a really good job. We practiced the 2-minute drill every day. We knew they were going to be in dropping deep and playing in coverage. The thing I was proud about were our guys, when they scored, no one on our sideline blinked. Everybody knew that we practiced that situation every week, that we were going to get on the field and have an opportunity to win the game at the end, and that's what our kids did. They battled. We were able to hit a couple checkdowns early. Malik McGriff did a great job of getting open on the checkdown. They were dropping their 2 inside backers extremely deep, so we hit him. He made a nice play, made a guy miss, got out of bounds. We threw another checkdown to him, and he got a first down, which stopped the clock. So, unfortunately, we had one timeout left at the time, but we felt like, hey, great, one timeout, a minute, 20 seconds left. We practiced it every week. Our guys were extremely confident and proud of the way they went out there and moved the ball down the field to give us an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, I know we were talking in the headsets with the cameraman. I'm like, they gave too much time because I know anytime you give number 5 a chance to move with that much time, you're going to at least get a chance to win the game.
Yeah, hit a couple, like I said, a couple checkdowns. They were playing extremely soft coverage. We hit a couple out routes. Next thing you know, talking on the headset with Coach Salisbury, I said, Coach, we got to get to about the 25-yard line. There was a little bit of wind coming from that direction, so we charted our kicks on Thursday practice and felt like the 25-yard line and in, we're going to give Anthony Becote a chance to go out and execute our field goal team. Unfortunately, that opportunity was taken away from us.
Well, it was kind of a possession-by-possession game. I know in big games, Coach Brown, former basketball coach, used to say big games are possession games, and each possession was very precious. I think the first half took about 45 minutes because both teams were responsible offensively and defensively, and it was a tight game into halftime, 7-3. Your team went up.
Great college football game. We go out and we get, I think, a 3-and-out the first series and go down the field and score. Or no, I'm sorry. They go down and kick a field goal, and we get the ball and get down and score at 7-3 after 2 drives. And I think everyone in the stadium is probably thinking, wow, this is going to be an offensive game. But both defenses really tightened up. I felt like, we were doing some good things offensively. Give one of their kids credit, had a one-handed interception, as nice of a play as I've seen. We were watching the film with our guys yesterday, and the guy that we had a couple guys open on the route, and Noah made a great decision. Kid made a heck of a play on the ball. I mean, he went up one-handed and came down with it. You got to tip your cap when guys make plays like that. But I thought our defense settled in. I thought our defense, we gave up a big play on the first drive, was really proud of the way we stopped the run. IUP was coming in averaging, well over 200 yards a game. We held them to 98 yards. I thought, our plan, they have an All-American receiver, was to take him out of the game, and we did. He had 3 catches for 50 yards. I'm still a little bit aggravated with the 1 catch. But our defensive guys executed the plans. What we talked to our team about yesterday is, every play in the game matters. When you're playing a tight game like that, the play in the first quarter, the play in the second quarter, the play in the third quarter is as important as the play at the end of the game. And unfortunately, we left some things out there. Really in the second half, I thought offensively we did a great job in the second half. They had kind of shut down our run in the first half. We regrouped at halftime. As a coaching staff, I thought our offensive coaches made great adjustments. We come out in the second half and right down the field and score. We're up 14-3. The next possession, our defense holds, gets a big sack on third down. We got the ball at midfield, roll kind of a lot of momentum offensively, a lot of momentum in the stadium. We've got to convert on that drive. When we get the ball at midfield and we got a short drive, we had 3 opportunities to get first downs on that drive, and unfortunately we didn't make the play. But we responded, all day responded. Just a good college football game, two teams battling it out, competing, their hearts out there, and it was a good college football game.
Well, you talked about your defense and holding the running game in check, and I know from where I was sitting directing the game, it just seemed like the front seven. There was, if your team wasn't making the plays, there was at least one person in the backfield disrupting it, or I know there's a couple plays where the inside of your line just decimated the inside of the IUP line for losses in the backfield.
Yeah, we really happy with the way the front played. We got some things we still got to clean up, but for the most part, that's a good offensive line, and we handled them up front for most of the game. They did some things at the end and went empty, and we had some assignment busts, but that's going to happen. I mean, kids are out there competing, and give them credit. They made plays when they had to, and so did we, for that matter.
And one of the things that it's always interesting to watch that game of chess between the first half and the second half. You mentioned running game wasn't quite there in the first half, but second half very effective. Couple rushing touchdowns and a couple times some long runs to move the chains, and it was like night and day.
Yeah, I think we made some adjustments, at halftime on what they were doing. We got into some tight end 2-back stuff that helped us. We went a little bit of pace that helped us. They've got a really good front as well. Their linebackers, I said last week, are really good. They got 2 really big guys inside that kind of clog up the run game. So we kind of made some adjustments and was really happy with the way we performed in the second half. We kind of dictated the terms of the game in the second half, and unfortunately we needed to make one more play.
Well, let's take a look at the action from this past Saturday at Adamson Stadium for Coal Bowl number 13. We'll be right back. You're watching the Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV.
Kick is up and good. IUP's going to take an early 3-0 lead here with 10:05 to go in the first quarter. Mitchell's going to roll near side, and then he rolls and lets it fly. McConaughey in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Oh, the Vulcans have taken the lead. In the pistol, twin receivers on the far side, fakes the handoff, rolls to the far side. And one-handed grab, interception by IUP, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. It's going to send a man in motion, and Matt Tobey coming quickly, and it's intercepted by the Vulcans. Snap, handoff to McCann, and bounces to the outside, and into the end zone for the touchdown. The Vulcans have extend that lead to 14-3. The line, hand off up the middle. And IUP is going to be in for the touchdown. Here, hand off, turns upfield. And waiting on the signal. Touchdown, Vulcans! Sexton lets it fly, fires it into the end zone. Touchdown, IUP. Handoff to Stewart, up the middle, in, touchdown on Hawks. And then they'll get it, and there's going to be a flag on the play.
And I think it's going to run out of time.
More attractions. More fear. Survive the clowns. in Twisted Nightmare 3D. Experience more scares than ever before. Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park returns September 9th. Get your tickets now at hauntedhillsestate.com.
Vulcan football is back this fall. September 1st versus Fairmont State. September 10th at Kutztown. September 17th at Shepherd. September 24th versus Edinburgh. October 1st at Clarion. October 8th versus IUP. October 15th at Seton Hill. October 22nd versus Slippery Rock. October 29th at Mercyhurst. November 5th versus Gannon. November 12th versus East Stroudsburg. All games live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network.
Takes the snap, firing to Lockhart, touchdown Vulcans. It's Derek Lockhart on the reception. Give Cal U 6 on the board. Received nicely by Seton Hill now. Able to get... Oh, and it looks like there was a fumble there on the play.
Yeah, ball came
Cal
out
U's
there.
saying they have it. And Cal U's going to recover. Two-step drop. Quick pass to Jackson. And it's in there for the Vulcan touchdown. Jaquay Jackson. Taking the snap. Pressure. McCormick. Intercepted. Intercepted by Jamal Morton Jr. And it's a pick six for the Vulcan defense. Jamal Morton Jr. coming in out of nowhere. The snap. It's a bad snap. They're going to play a fumbled snap. They're looking for the ball. Cal U saying they have it. Waiting for an official signal. And wouldn't this be something here?
We got
and it is a Cal U ball as Seton Hill fumbles it. Mitchell with the snap. Firing down the middle of the field. It's caught by Lockhart, and that's a Vulcan touchdown. Derek Lockhart again gets to the back of the end zone, and Cal U's up now by 4 scores now. Mitchell. And he finds Jaquay Jackson wide open in the end zone for a Vulcan touchdown. It's Jaquay Jackson yet again. Mitchell taking the snap, firing to Lockhart, and he brings it in for the Cal U touchdown. Derek Lockhart yet again registers another for the board.
Welcome back to the Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV. I'm Gary Smith along with Coach Dunn. And Coach, let's take we're going to do things a little different because I noticed when I'm editing the show, we talk about the upcoming week's opponent, and then I say, let's take a look back at the scores from this past week. So we're going to take a look at the scores from the past week, wrap up a bow on Saturday's action, and look ahead to the Saturday's matchup at Seton Hill. So the rest of the scores in the PSAC, Gannon over Edinburgh 35-17. Clarion over Seton Hill 40-13, and then Slippery Rock 31, Mercier 17. Over in the East, Kutztown 24, Bloomsburg nothing. East Stroudsburg losing to Millersville 20-14. In a game in which I took the under, Shepherd winning 72-7 over Lock Haven, and then Shippensburg over Westchester 20-13. And then Coach, just put a bow on this past weekend's action. Before the game, there was a presentation of Coach Lockhart going into the National College Football Hall of Fame. What was it like for your team and everyone, just to see him come back, knowing how much he meant to the program.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Coach Lockhart's the guy that got this program turned around and took it to national prominence, and a lot of the things that our guys benefit from today are because of Coach Lockhart. And you know, he won a lot of football games in his career, but more importantly, he impacted a lot of young men. And I got a chance to talk to him before the game at length, and me and him have stayed close. We talk often. He's always there to help me, and just really happy for him, and well deserved.
And that induction will be in Las Vegas, Nevada, sometime I believe in this December. So congratulations, Coach Lockhart. And with that wraps up this past weekend. And as we say on the show every week, the calendar turns over, and another PSAC matchup this week. Very short road trip to Greensburg-Seton Hill, a team that in the midst of a rebuild. So as I always ask, Coach, overall, what do they do? And then we'll break down their offense and defense.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. They are a talented team, and just for whatever reason, haven't put it all together yet this year. You know, I watched their film, and I told the team this yesterday. You know, I watched a lot of, obviously, their defensive film yesterday, and they've got some talented pieces, and they play a different defense than anybody we're going to see. They like to crowd the box. They're going to outnumber you in the run game. If you have 6 guys in the box, they're going to have 7. If you have 7, they're going to have 8. You have 8, they're going to have 9. They're not going to allow you to run the football with any consistency. They're going to play man coverage on the back end, and they do a good job of it. They try and get you in 3rd and longs with some of their pressure packages, and then you know, they bring blitzes from everywhere on 3rd and long and play zone coverage behind it. So our guys are really going to have to be on our assignments, and it's got to be about us this week. It's you know, it's just a different defense, and they're doing well defensively. They're not giving up a lot of points. They're not giving up a lot of rushing yards. Offensively, they really haven't gotten it going yet. They're inside-outside zone team, very similar to us. They got some big play guys on the outside. They just haven't put it all together offensively yet, and really the same with special teams. So, you know, Clarion went up there and did a good job. But Clarion, you know, scored on 2 trick plays and a fake field goal. So that's 21 of those points. That game was really close. They've played everybody tight. You know, they're winning against Slippery Rock early. You know, they've played every game is you know, against Gannon, who's undefeated in the league right now. I think it was 14-10 late into the game. So, you know, our guys, we got to be ready to play. You got to, when you're playing this game, you got to throw the records out, and we got to go up there and execute both sides of the ball in special teams.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised a little bit. I saw what their record was this year, but it seems like if you look at the scores as they're happening when we're doing games, it seems like, yeah, they're in the game until there's a crucial part where 1 or 2 plays go against them. But they've been in at least the first half of every game.
I tell you, you put your film on, you wouldn't expect their record to be what it is, because they do have some talent. I think their one linebacker just broke their all-time tackle record this week. They've got some really nice defensive linemen, linebackers, and they're athletic on the back end. Offensively, they just haven't put it together yet, you know, and hopefully we can not allow them to do that this week.
What kind of schemes do they run on offense? What's their system?
They're similar to us. They want to be a tight end, 2-back, 2 tight end teams. They'll spread it out formationally and personnel wise. They're very similar to us. I don't think the running game is clicked for them yet, and that's maybe part of the problem. But you know, they've got some talented pieces that you know we're going to have to play well.
And this Saturday will be 6 o'clock at Offutt Field. And Coach, a close road trip, but I know you always try and keep everything nice and, you know, the same each week routine. But a 6 o'clock game, second 6 o'clock game, does that change anything drastically for your team, or just?
No, I'm sure the guys are going to like they get to sleep in a little bit. You know, we've been playing 12 o'clock home games, and we do a walkthrough at 7:50, and then have our pregame meal here in the Student Center at 8 o'clock. So I guess they're going to like to sleep in a little bit. I got to get them up, get them moving around a little bit, but let them relax. You know, because you know, our guys are so hyped up to play games, and when you wake up in the morning, you're ready to play, and now you got to wait till 6 o'clock. So we got to control our emotions, and we just got to relax until it's time for our pregame walkthrough, our pregame meal, and then get on the bus and make the short trip up there.
And it seems like we talk about it every week in the PSAC that, you know, everybody's in everybody's backyard, but this is the actual epitome of that, because literally less than 40 minutes down the road. So a lot of guys know a lot of guys on each team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, it's that's one of the greatest things about the PSAC is I say the rivalries, but also the travel. You know, as I get older in my career, you know, I was in some conferences where we did quite a bit of traveling, and you know, to have a 6 o'clock game and know that I could be home by 10 is not a bad deal. You know, so you play a 6 o'clock game in some of the other leagues I was in, you might not get home till Monday morning. You know, so it's nice to have the local game.
and let's have an appeal to PennDOT to not have Route 70 shut down between 9 and midnight on Saturday night. But the rest of the schedule for the PSAC, we'll start with the West. Cal Seton Hill, as we just talked about. IUP travels to Edinburgh. Gannon travels to Slippery Rock, and then Clarion travels to Mercyhurst. And over in in the East, Millersville goes to Shepherd. Kutztown goes to Shippensburg. Bloomsburg goes to Lock Haven. And Westchester goes to East Stroudsburg. And, Coach, as I always ask, I'm going to guess probably the Gannon-Slippery Rock game is
absolutely.
the other one fans will
Slippery Rock's
watch.
got one loss in league, and Gannon's undefeated in league, so that's probably the top game there.
And Coach inadvertently segued into the standings, so we'll take a look at those on the screen right now. But it's a logjam up top. IUP and Gannon 3-0, and then Slippery Rock IU 2-1 in the West. So getting to that point in the season that every game is always important, but even more so that we're getting to that crunch time.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to our guys yesterday about we got to put our head down and go to work. We'll look up at the end of the year and see where we're at, but we got to. The only thing that's going to make us feel better after this week is a great week of preparation. And I'll tell you, the character of our guys and the culture of our guys. We had a great practice last night. I meet with our strength coach every what was yesterday, Monday at 12:15, and our guys had just got out of the weight room, and he said, Coach, that was one of our best workouts so far this year. He said everybody was dialed in. You're a little concerned. You lose a tight game like that, but the character of our guys and our culture is strong. And, we go out on the field yesterday, and man, was it a great workout. So proud of our guys. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to have a great practice today, and we're going to go play our best football Saturday.
And make sure to come out this Saturday to Offutt Field in Greensburg. 6 o'clock kickoff, so you can, like Coach said, sleep in, get up there early tailgate. But it's always great to see the red and black fans on the visiting sideline because, your team travels well. The fans travel well.
Absolutely. And we will be closer than probably any game in the NCAA to our fans this weekend. That stadium is the sidelines are not very big, so we're going to be pretty tight up there, but we're looking forward to it. And
we'll be up there too for CUTV and the PSAC Sports Network. So if you can't make it, go to CUTV Sports 1 or the PSAC Sports Network. We'll have all the action. So for Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. We'll see you in Greensburg, and if we don't see you this week, we'll see you next week right here on the Gary Dunn Show.